Welcome to Momentum Investing, property investing made easy. One of the world's top podcasts on property investing, bringing you the top experts in the field so you can learn firsthand what it takes to create passive income and take control over your financial future.
Welcome to the Momentum Investing Podcast and welcome to today's show. My name is Daniel Wood and I'm one of the founders of Momentum Property Education. Today we have a very exciting show for you. We have none other than Mark Lloyd, a very experienced investor who's going to share with us what it takes to become successful as a property investor. What kind of deals is he working on right now? And what does he believe is the smartest way to invest given the overall economy? So thank you so much for joining us here today. Make sure you subscribe to the Momentum Investing Podcast or follow us on YouTube because we come out with exciting interviews with top experts from all over the world every single Thursday. So you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere where you listen to podcasts. And we make sure to bring people like Kim Kiyosaki, Jordan Harbinger, Meb Faber, and of course, today's star guest, Mark Lloyd. So we're very excited to have you here. If you have any questions, either if you're on YouTube, you can comment on the video, or if you're watching or listening on another platform, just join us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group called the International Property Investors Facebook group. You can find it by going to Momentum Property Education's Facebook page and you'll see it as a linked group. That's International Property Investors. And feel free to ask questions there in the group. We're over 1,500 investors who are all looking to grow our portfolios, learn together, and find new ways to expand. So again, welcome to our show. Thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you on the other side. Welcome to the Momentum Investing Podcast. I'm excited to be here with none other than Mark Lloyd. Mark, welcome to the show.
Hi, Daniel. Good to be back.
Yeah, great to have you back on the show. We had you back last year, and now we're on year 2 of the Momentum Investing Podcast. So what better to come back and kind of see a little bit what's going on. You've obviously... Well, if you want to quickly just give everyone a background to who you are and where you are at, and then we'll start looking at what kind of deals you're working on right now. And of course, we have the big subject we're going to talk about in a moment about the crowdfund and how you can use that to get financing on your deals.
Sure. Okay. So I'm based in the UK. I've been in business now for, I think it's 33 years. I started property investing in 2005. Prior to that, I had no property investing knowledge whatsoever. Made a few mistakes between 2005 and 2009, and that's when I eventually got educated and by quite a well-known company in the UK. And yeah, I've built up quite a large portfolio since then throughout the UK. I only focus in the UK. I don't invest abroad at all. And I've built up a training company, as Daniel's aware, and also a crowdfunding platform, which we launched last year, which is expanding quite rapidly in various parts of the world. In fact, we've just gone live in New Zealand as of yesterday.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. Congratulations. So before we get into the details on the crowdfunding platform and what we've been doing there, talk about kind of the deals you're doing right now. Obviously, the UK economy has been through the ringer in the last 12 months with COVID, Brexit, all the quantitative easing, and now starting to see some inflation. There's so much going on. So what are you working on right now, and why are you working on those type of deals?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I mean, with the massive GDP drop we had last year, which is the largest since the Second World War, and now this year it looks like we're going to be the fastest growing of the G7. So a big turnaround. In property terms, I don't tend to add to my portfolio individually now. I'm more looking in clusters. So I've got four projects on the go at the moment, which are 3 are land deals and 1 is a commercial conversion. So if I talk very briefly about the land deals, so we've got a plot of land in Dover in Kent, which is in the south coast, for those of you not aware, southeast coast of England. And that is going through our second pre-app at the moment, so our pre-application process before we actually apply for full planning. And we're aiming to build 24 new units there on a roughly 6-acre site.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Not sure what that is in square meters, but anyway. We've got another one in Surrey. So this is within the M25, which is just outside London, basically. If you know where London is, a little bit south, about 10 miles, and that's where the plot of land is. So it's in a high demand area. Again, that's about 6-7 acres. We're currently going through a lot of issues on that one because it's in metropolitan green belt, so it's got a lot of issues. But the GDV on the site is between 50 and 60 million pounds. Wow. So yeah, quite excited about that one, but it has taken a long time to get to where we're at the moment. I've got a commercial conversion. Oh, I should say the Dover deal, by the way, has cost me no money whatsoever apart from architect's fees at the moment. The deal we negotiated with the vendor is that the vendor put the land into the project and he gets paid at the very end. So not planning, when we sell. Amazing deal.
Nice.
The Surrey one is not too dissimilar. Then I've got another Surrey one, which is happens to be a relative of my business partner Jackie, and that we've got, by the looks of things, about 8 houses to be built on that. So that's in an expensive area of the country, Guildford, which again is south, which is where I'm based. So I'm expecting around about £1.5 million profit on that one. And then lastly, the commercial conversion. This is an off-market one. So all of these are off-market, by the way. They've not got through agents at all. And the commercial conversion here, the vendor wants 3.8 million for the building. It's already got permitted development prior approval to build 30 flats, or convert into 30 flats. But we want to go up another floor and add another 10 to make it 40. And again, what we've done here, there's no money of mine going in this one. I love these kind of deals. So the vendor's got a £1 million mortgage on the building. And I said, well, a 3.8 million for just the 30 flats, it doesn't work. But if we can add another floor on, it will work. Would you be happy to JV? So what we're going to do is finance the whole thing. So we'll be able to finance to repay his £1 million if necessary, and we'll be able to finance the build 100%. So no money apart from some architect's fees going in. So really excited about all those. But they're the kind of project I love. I always look for wherever possible a creative way of doing the deals. And in each of those projects will actually build my portfolio anyway, but in a big chunks at a time rather than one here and one there.
Not one buy to let at a time, it's blocks. So is the idea to keep these and refinance them and rent them out, or are you flipping them on and selling them?
I think we're going to do a mix. We're definitely going to build, certainly for Dover, obviously the commercial conversion, and the one in Guildford. The larger one, the big site, the 50, 60 million pound one, we're going to need a bit of help on that one. It's quite a big site. So haven't quite worked out what we're going to do yet, but we're some way off from that yet. So, but we are talking to some big house builders on it. Barratt Homes in particular are very interested in the site.
Cool.
And they've already offered around about 10 million for the site as it is, without planning. So
you might just take that and run. Yeah, very cool, very cool. But is the idea to then kind of sell some, get your money out, and keep the rest? Is that how you'd go about it?
Yeah, we're probably going to sell at least 50%.
Right.
That's the idea. I mean, you're aware yourself, Daniel. The market in the UK at the moment is really good. Prices are increasing quite well, and I think that will happen for the next 4 years, maybe 4.5 years before we start to see a dip. So we want to take advantage of that whilst we can, and if we can do that within that time frame, then we will sell a large proportion of them.
Yeah, now the market has gotten really exciting. As you said, the UK are in its complete bounce back right now, going through the roof. But at the same time, we see inflation increasing, so that's obviously going to have a good impact on for us as property investors, because properties go up in value with inflation. It's going to be very interesting to follow the economy over the next few months and years, for that matter.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. It's going to be exciting. The rest of 2021 it's still a little bit uncertain because we don't know, the government measures once they start to fizzle out. So there's, the measures they took, the stamp duty, the furlough scheme. Once those are finished, we've got a little bit of uncertainty to know what's going to happen there. And we've got a huge shortage of stock at the moment in the UK, which is why, year on year now, I think it was 10.9% growth in the past 12 months, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's just incredibly high. And obviously, there's a lot of questions to what will happen when the stamp duty holiday goes away. Will that kind of let the air out of the balloon a little bit? But at the same time, the government's really focused on the development sector. They wanted to boost the development sector. That's why they took the stamp duty holiday. But now with the first time buyer mortgages, the 40-year mortgages, it's obviously giving people that much easier a time to buy and making it that much more affordable, which of course means that what they do is they then pay more for the property and it becomes just as unaffordable again.
Really?
But the benefit goes to us as developers who are building and selling. So that is really, really cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's exciting, quite exciting time. So, we'll see.
Very good. And now, of course, let's get into really what here the Momentum Property Education community can really get from you, Mark, because one of the things you've been working on for the past couple of years, you've been working with Max Crowdfund, building the crowdfund platform, and now I financed one deal through the platform that went brilliantly. I got another 3 that are in the works on the way to kind of come up. So talk about that. How did kind of Max Crowdfund come about, and what do you see Max Crowdfund doing here going forward?
Yeah, I mean, Max Crowdfund came about. Well, if I go back about 4 or 5 years when we originally started the company, Max Property Group, it was a property investment company, and we had representation in Germany, Netherlands, and the UK. And essentially, we were just buying properties and issuing bonds that investors could invest in, and we were buying portfolios essentially in the UK, Netherlands, and Germany. Now that's a lot of work and quite a lot of hassle, and so we took a decision really to stop that and just focus on what the core activity was, which was finding investors and finding projects and matching the two together. And so we started a couple of years ago to start building the platform. Several £100,000s have been spent on developing the platform, and it's built on the blockchain as well. So it's kind of the latest technology, totally transparent, so you can see everything that's going on. And the idea behind it was literally to focus on our core activities, which was finding investors, which we have. I can't remember what the current figure is, but it's somewhere between 60 and 70,000 registered on our platform at the moment in 120 countries.
That's awesome.
And we kind of had a lot of issues with the platform. I mean, trying to get the tech right, trying to link it into the blockchain, trying to get the multilingual aspects. I think we're now got 25 countries, and I think we're going to have Swedish translated soon. I think
the Swedish is already translated. Yeah,
okay.
We've been through and done that. Yep, that it's always fun translating, but once it's done, it's very, very nice.
Yep. So that makes it multilingual as well. Multi-currency is just around the corner. At the moment, we can only take euros. And New Zealand dollars, because that's now just hit the platform. So that means the other currencies will now come into play, particularly obviously the British pound and the US dollar will come in. So with multi-currency and multiple things you'll be able to do on the platform, not only loans, but joint venture, equity kind of financing, and trading within the platform itself, where if someone wants to pull out of a project, they have potential to sell that project, their portion of that project, onto somebody else as well. So there's quite a lot of things happening over the next.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of highlight those things, because that's really, really cool. I mean, First off, we can use it as a way to fund our deals. Like I did, I funded about 80% of my entire property project. So not just the purchase, but the actual entire project. I financed through the deal at a pretty fair interest. I think we're paying 7.5% per annum interest. So that's really nice considering it was a purchase, and now we're going to refinance off of that and be able to pay that back. So that's been huge. But then now you're launching that we can actually use it as a joint venture tool. So instead of me going out and finding joint venture partners, I can essentially just go to you guys. And you already have the investors, and we set up a joint venture, which is really, really cool. And then of course the last part there with that you can actually trade on the platform. That is to me really, really exciting, because that means that when an investor, they might invest whatever it is, say they invest 10,000 euros or pounds soon now into a project, and then 6 months later, something happens, they need their money back. Thanks to the blockchain technology, they can now trade that with another investor, and another investor can come in, take over their mortgage position or loan position. They get their money out. That is huge. I mean, that's not available through you've essentially made property investing a liquid asset, which is really, really cool. And especially in the joint venture space, I think that is going to be truly unique, because, you know, if I have a joint venture partnership, usually the only way to get out of it is either go out and try to sell my position to another investor, or, you know, or essentially dissolve the partnership. And now all I need to do is click a button and say, all right, I want to get out of this partnership. I need to free my capital. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah, I think it's something I think that, you know, it will grow quite rapidly. I think because, you know, obviously providing loans is one thing, and, you know, you get obviously the interest rate you've got to pay, and obviously the investors get paid an interest rate. But there are a lot of investors, the more serious ones, that would like to have a share of the equity, and they're more, and they don't want an interest rate. They're just happy to put money into the project. Obviously, you know, they're high risk individuals, so it is restricted to certain types of investors to invest on that side of things, whereas the loans is not.
Yeah. Well, and of course, I mean, just look at it. I'm borrowing money now at a 7.5% interest. I'm doing it because I see how much more I make off of my deal. I mean, for me, it becomes very cheap money. But some investors, larger, more experienced, they know that I'm getting that upside. So obviously they'd rather take an equity position and say, look, Daniel, you're making 30, 40%. Why would I take 7.5? Give me a bigger cut of this whole deal.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. So, yeah, it'll be limited to certain types of deals, I think, to begin with. Just like with the loans, we need to kind of test it a bit more and see its practical use and see if there's any glitches within that side of it. But no, I'm quite excited about that. That will certainly be available within the next quarter.
Very cool. Yeah, we're definitely going to keep talking about that as that comes out, because I know both myself and I know the community wants to get access to it. So when you're going to apply, I'm just going to, for anyone listening, right? So the way you got to apply is obviously you got to prove that you have a proven track record as a property investor. One of the great benefits with being a part of the Momentum property education community is that kind of becomes your free ticket into that. So if you want to use the crowdfund, just reach out to us and we'll help you go through that process and get that type of lending, because it's such a huge opportunity. Yeah,
I think a massive opportunity, and, you know, it's something that your mentees and students really should take full advantage of. You know, it's a relatively easy product for you to apply for, and I know a lot of you invest in the UK, but, you know, it doesn't have to be the UK. It could be Germany, Netherlands. Virtually at the moment, I mean, we are looking at the moment a project in Mexico.
Wow. Okay.
For a UK-based developer. So it's more about where the developer is based. So if they're based in the UK, or, you know, you're obviously based in Sweden, but you've got British interests, then potentially the project could be anywhere, as long as we can get the basic groundwork. So we, you know, the qualified people at the end are working in our interest in terms of lending the money, so that we know the money's secure, that we know that it's not a fake project and all those kind of things, then potentially that's possible. And this UK developer, he's loan to value is quite low, because obviously the risk element, we want to make sure he's got a lot more to lose than otherwise would be the case. So, but we're looking at I think it's somewhere near Cancun. I can't remember the name of the place, but it's near Cancun. We're looking at the moment. So no, that could be exciting as well.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. That sounds amazing. Well, I know everyone wants to learn more. I mean, obviously you yourself are working on really cool projects. Max Crowdfund is super exciting for us at a more egotistical level because it benefits us directly. But how can we connect with you? How can we follow you? How can we follow the projects and your progress? You tend to be very, very active on social media and sharing kind of what you're working on.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, in terms of the platform, obviously they need to come back to yourselves and get themselves registered. What I would say is, even if your listeners haven't got a project yet, is to get registered on the platform, because that's sometimes that has a few glitches where people aren't aware of that, where their passport doesn't upload properly, or their ID doesn't upload properly, and that can cause unnecessary delays. So register on the platform. It doesn't cost you anything to do so. Daniel will provide you with the link for that. But yeah, in terms of following me, so yeah, I'm on social media. So on Facebook, you can follow me. I can provide you with the links, obviously, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram.
I'll add the links to the show notes so everyone can easily find you.
And yeah, I'm reasonably active, not as much active as I used to be, but and you'll see the stuff that Max Crowdfund is working on. You'll see the stuff that I'm working on as well from my own perspective, and sometimes you just see a few things in there, like I posted a bottle of champagne the other day. That's just
Well, we have to celebrate our wins, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Mark, thank you so much for joining us. This was awesome. I am super excited, and I hope everyone takes advantage of this. So just send us a message at Momentum Property Education, either through our website, which is momentumpropertyeducation.com, or just support at momentumpropertyeducation.com. We'll help you get you signed up and ready to go with Max Crowdfund and these amazing opportunities that exist there. All right. Thank you so much, Mark, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Yeah, cheers. No worries.
Thank you so much for joining us here today. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Mark Lloyd. Next week, we got a very, very exciting show for you because we got Terry Liggins. Now, Terry is a unique individual because she is a ghost writer, meaning she's written books for people like Les Brown. Their books that you've probably read were actually written in large part by Terry. Terry is an amazing person. She knows some of the most successful people in the world. And on this episode, she will share with you some of the key lessons that she's gotten from working one-on-one with Les Brown and other amazingly successful people, so that you can take those same lessons and put into your life and to expand. She's got one really exciting story, especially, that I know you're going to want to hear, about how Les Brown used the law of attraction to bring an opportunity into his life that changed his life forever. She's going to share that in the episode next week, so make sure you subscribe. Either follow us on YouTube or follow or subscribe to the podcast on any podcast platform. And please, if you had any questions, make sure you comment on the YouTube video or go to the International Property Investors Facebook group. You can ask your question there. We're here to help. We're here to support you. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Daniel Wood. I'm one of the founders of Momentum Property Education. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you next week.